Hello, you are listening to a Gakuen Alice Audio Book. You can follow along by clicking the link in the description. Further information about this story can be found in the description, such as author's notes and summary. Deluge by Silvermist76. It was raining on the 27th of November. Like any other normal day in November, it was raining. The mist of the rain pattered above a quiet alcove which brought among the scent of the freshly wet earth. The soft swish of the wind could be heard, and so could the distant roar of the thunder. It wasn't pouring, though, just a gentle drizzle, yet it was enough to completely hamper a certain raven-haired boy's mood. It was Natsume Hyuga's 17th birthday. Natsume sighed as he came back from taking a shower. He had hoped the rain would stop by the time he got out. Most of the times, he just shrugged it off as an unavoidable omen. It always rained on his birthday. There were no exceptions. Even on the day he was born, it was pouring in Wakayama. In fact, he was born exactly on the same day when Typhoon Kent hit Tokyo. So the rain was quite inevitable. Luckily, he hadn't been born in Tokyo. If he had, then he probably wouldn't have been in Alice Academy for his 17th birthday. He always took rain as a sign of weakness, as a sign of tears. He didn't like shedding tears. He absolutely loathed crying. He often wondered how people could cry. Why would they do such an atrocious act? Couldn't they just glare at some object like he did? Or burn something like he did when he was in a pensive mood? No, he never got why people cried. It was always a topic which he could never quite fully understand. Sometimes he wondered why it rained on his birthday. Why he couldn't have just one normal birthday to avoid any rain. It was a lost cause now. He knew that it would always rain on his birthday. He even knew that there was no point in wishing for it to stop. It never did. At least not on the 27th of November. "Natsume, open your damn door!" came the shrill, yet manly voice of Koko. "Open it or else I'll tell everyone what you were thinking a few seconds ago." That had got Natsume's attention. "I swear you'll be a dead man, Yome, if you tell anyone," Natsume growled in his head. According to Natsume, the only thing worse than rain were mind readers. "All right, I won't tell a soul. Just open the door." Natsume grunted as he got up to open the door. There was absolutely no privacy at Alice Academy, even though he lived in the special star dormitories. "What do you want?" he started, but was cut off when Koko shoved a muffin into his mouth. "Happy 17th birthday, Natsume," Koko yelled. "Ruka said that it wasn't a good idea for me to come this early in the morning to wish you. He said that you'd get pissed, but I thought he was just acting all prissy. I mean, everyone knows how much you love blueberry muffins, especially the ones from Lottie's. So I got you the whole pack of them, but This is exactly why Ruka is my best friend." That got Koko to stop mid-rant. He chuckled nervously. "Does that mean you changed your mind about the muffins? I could get you those chicken rolls you like instead." "No, I haven't changed my mind about the muffins. I just don't like it when people shove it into my mouth." "Koko, whatever you're about to do, it's not a good idea," came a voice from the other side of the corridor. "Just don't—" "The damage has already been done, Ruka," Natsume murmured as he wiped the crumbs off his mouth. "What did he—" Koko panted, finally coming into sight. "Oh," he said, as his eyes fell upon the half-eaten muffin in Koko's hand. "Let me guess. You shoved the muffin into his mouth?" he asked, turning to Koko. Koko grinned sheepishly. "It sounded like a good idea to me." Ruka shook his head. "You honestly don't even know Natsume. It's surprising that he hasn't burned you yet." "I'm going to shove 10 red chilies down your throat. Let's see how you like that." Koko winced. Hey, Ruka, give Natsume your present." "Right, about that. I don't want anything." "What?" "I said I don't want anything." "But it's your birthday today." "It's raining." That one word was enough for Ruka to understand that Natsume was in one of those moods again. "It's about her, isn't it?" Koko asked. Natsume clenched his jaw and went back into his room. He then took his TV remote and flopped down onto the couch next to his bed. He flipped through the channels absently, ignoring Koko's question. Koko confirmed it as a yes. Come on, he said, turning to Ruka. Ruka chuckled. Well, I guess this is my cue for leaving then. You're going to come to the party, right? Natsume rolled his eyes. Of course not. Oh, come on, Natsume. You're 17. That only happens once. I'd like to see you partying on the first death anniversary of your sister. Ruka cringed. He hadn't expected Natsume to be so blunt about that. He knew it pained him. His younger sister was murdered, for God's sake. Of course he wouldn't want to celebrate anything, let alone his own birthday. A lot of people had been lost during the Alice War, and Ohyuga was one of them. Ruka didn't know exactly how she was murdered. All he knew was that her body was never found. I'm sorry. Of course you wouldn't want to celebrate. Yeah, whatever. Okay, then Well, if you need anything, Natsume, you know I'm always here. Yes, I know. Ruka nodded. I'm going to meet Incho. I'll see you later, all right? Natsume shook his head. Actually, I think I'll be heading out for the day. I just want to be alone. Ruka sighed. He couldn't argue with Natsume, especially not when his mind was set about something. So he just shrugged. Just come back before 7. Mikon will definitely kill you if you miss cutting the cake. She made it herself. That cake would probably just kill me anyways. Ruka snorted. Well, believe it or not, Mikon's culinary skills have improved quite a lot. Natsume merely grunted. I'm going now, then. Mikon Sakura was not happy. In fact, she was absolutely furious. She had spent 6 whole hours baking a cake for Natsume. She would have finished just in an hour or so, but Samir and her stupid cat dog Alice decided to drink up all the milk. So Mikon had to run to Central Town to get more milk. When she came back, however, she had discovered that Anna had accidentally spilled all the baking soda on the floor. So again, she had to take a trip to Central Town to get baking soda. And now that her cake was done, Natsume had not shown up. The nerve of that boy! She tapped her foot impatiently. Did you tell him to come at 7 sharp, Ruka? She asked. Ruka nodded. I did. I even told him that you made the cake. You did what? She screamed. Ruka, now he's not going to come for sure. Ruka shrugged, his eyes a bit sorrow. Well, he's not in a good mood today. Mikon snorted. When is he ever in a good mood? Oh, Mikon, cut the boy some slack. Today is, 27th November. Yes. Ruka, I know today is Natsume's birthday. It's exactly why I baked a cake, Mikon replied. Honestly, when he comes, I'm going to kill him. I don't care if it's his birthday today. Wait, it's not a crime to die on your birthday, right? I'm sure loads of people have died on their birthdays. Ruka slapped his forehead. Sometimes Mikon was far too dense for her own good. Sure, it helped him and Natsume when they were 11, but now it was getting ridiculous. It's the first year since... Oh my God, shit! Mikon exclaimed, her eyes widening. I totally forgot! I'm such a horrible person! Ruka, do you know where he is? I need to talk to him. Ruka shrugged. I have no clue. Northern Woods! Screamed Coco randomly as he came into view. He was holding a croissant in his left hand and a can of Coke in the other. Really? Ruka asked, his eyes furrowing. What in the world was Natsume doing in the Northern Woods? Read his mind, Coco winked. Hey, did anyone see Hotaru yet? Mikon asked as she began to search for raven-haired girl. Most probably sitting in a corner. Aha! Found her, Mikon yelled as her eyes landed on a girl who was obviously busy with some new kind of invention. Hotaru! Mikon yelled while she made her way towards her. She noticed that Hotaru was wearing a dress, which was pretty strange. Hotaru hated wearing dresses. She often scoffed at Mikon's choice of clothing, as Mikon usually wore dresses with flowery prints. Hotaru looked up. Her face was twisted in an annoyed scowl. What do you want now, Baka? She asked, holding a screwdriver in a perfectly manicured hand. Can you give me that, thing? Oh, I forgot. Natsume glared at the tray in front of him. He wished he could burn something or someone, but he couldn't. The stupid rain would just extinguish the fire. He was leaning on the trunk of a random sakura tree he had found. It was not his sakura tree. It was a different one. He looked up at the sky and sighed. Ruka said it wasn't his fault but it was. It was all his fault. If only he had been stronger, quicker, Oi would have been here with him. His father was absolutely devastated. Natsume was the only family he had left now. They didn't even have a proper funeral for her. Natsume! Natsume nearly groaned. He knew that voice. He would probably always remember that voice. He squinted his eyes, trying to look for the person it belonged to. He spotted her. She was running, holding some sort of flashlight in her hands, and a bag was dangling from her shoulder. She wasn't wet. Natsume scowled. Stupid multi-Alice user. Then he got up and headed deeper into the forest. He didn't want to talk with anyone right now, especially not her. Natsume, wait up! Cried the voice again. Natsume started walking faster. He was about to jump over a rock when his foot got stuck on the ground. He narrowed his eyes, his gaze darting toward the brunette standing a few yards away. A grin was plastered on her face. Thought you could run away now, didn't you? She asked, smug. Natsume rolled his eyes. Do you have a death wish, Polka? Mikon laughed. The sound was like a high-pitched bell. He hated the way she always made him feel like snapping. You wouldn't kill me. Maybe I can. I have a strong urge to burn someone right now, he said, looking at Mikon, making his intentions quite clear. Nullifier, she said, pointing to herself. You always seem to forget that I can't be burnt. Natsume hated how she was a nullifier. Why are you here? He asked flatly. Mikon took a few steps toward him. You can't keep bottling up your emotions like this, she replied. Natsume didn't say anything. I know it's a tough time, she continued, but honestly, Natsume, leave the past behind you. Oil wouldn't want to see her brother like this on his 17th birthday. She would want you to be happy. Natsume? She asked, a questioning look on her face. Were you even listening? Mikon turned to look at him, and was quite surprised when she saw his eyes were glistening. He then closed them. Sometimes I wonder if all your foolishness and naiveness is just an act or not. Now I know that it isn't. You truly are absurd. Moron! She exclaimed while she punched his arm. Natsume smirked. His wet hair was all over his face. Remove your shield, Alice. It's not fair how a baka like you gets to be dry. I believe I don't need to. Mikon pointed towards the sky. It stopped raining. Natsume smiled. Come on, let's go to that retarded party you fools organized. It's not retarded, Natsume. We put so much effort into it. Nah, probably is. Anyways, I'm not going to eat the cake. It might kill me. You bloody bastard! I spent 6 hours on that thing. Wait. Mikon shuffled through her bag. Aha! I knew it was a good idea to get a piece. Happy 17th birthday, Natsume. She laughed as she shoved a piece of her wonderful cake into Natsume's mouth. Natsume scowled. What is up with you people? First Coco, now you? Mikon shrugged. Come on, admit it. I hope you have enjoyed this audio story. Please support the author by leaving a comment below or a review by clicking the link in the description. You can also suggest another story for an audio reading by contacting us. Information is on our website.